morning and welcome to A View from the Top, brought to you by the Rush Sports Medicine Team. I'm your host, Christopher Haralson, and every Wednesday morning here on Super Talk Meridian 103.3 FM, we take a look around the world at Meridian Community College athletics. Since our last show, the men's basketball team have won three of their games last week. Thursday, they headed down to Wesson and beat a good Colin team 88-72. Then they headed up to Senatobia Saturday and fell to Northwest Rangers 48-58. Then this past Monday, they rebounded in a big way, defeating the East Mississippi Lions 74-53. That improves the Eagles to 17-5 overall and 9-4 in conference play, and the Eagles are currently sitting in third place in the conference. They'll close out their regular season tomorrow night at Holmes Community College at 6 o'clock. The Lady Eagles won 1 of 3 last week. They defeated the Lady Wolves of Colin 54-49 at home in the Graham Gymnasium Thursday, and then dropped 2 close games in a row. They fell to the Lady Rangers 66-62 at home Saturday, and then went up to Scuba and fell to the Lady Lions of East Mississippi 71-68. Lady Eagles are 9-11 overall and 6-7 in conference play, and they'll finish out the season Thursday in the Graham Gymnasium for sophomore night as they host Holmes Community College. The track team went to Nashville and ran in the Music City Challenge. The Eagles saw another school record fall as Amos Beadle broke the 800-meter record for MCC. He's currently 5th in the nation in that event. Keyshawn Black continued to scorch the track as he won the 200-meter event, and he's 1st in the nation in the 200-meter. The men's indoor team is currently ranked 17th in the country and should have a new ranking come out today, and I look for them to just continue to climb up the rankings as they just get better and better each week. Number 7 ranked MCC golf team went down to Mobile last week and played in the Mardi Gras Invitational hosted by Bishop State. They tied Alabama Southern with the lowest score, but Alabama Southern won on a scorecard playoff. Sophomore Ethan Dice, though, won the tournament for the Eagles, shooting 142, and that was 5 strokes better than his teammate Joseph Berry, who finished 2nd. So MCC Golf has picked up right where they left off in the fall. They're back to playing well and winning tournaments, or at least finishing in the top. MCC men's tennis is currently ranked 19th after picking up wins over Colin, Hines, and Belhaven. Had a perfect record last week. The Lady Eagles tennis team is ranked 13th, and they picked up wins also over Colin, Hines, and Belhaven. They'll head down to Macomb Thursday as they play Southwest. Number 8 ranked MCC baseball completed a 4-game sweep over Muskegon Community College this past weekend at Skaggs Field. Muskegon's out of Michigan. They came down to get a little warmer weather and play. Brock Butler led the way offensively for the Eagles as he batted .636 with 2 doubles, 4 RBIs, and 1 home run. The Eagles will host Hines Community College in a non-conference matchup Saturday at 1 o'clock at Skaggs Field. MCC softball picked up a split with Bishop State Tuesday. Had a walk-off home run by Emily Slade to win the first game, and almost made a comeback in the second game, but dropped that one 7-6. The Lady Eagles will play Bishop State again today in Mobile, and then this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, they'll host the Rush Invitational Softball Tournament. That tournament was originally scheduled for Friday, Saturday, but with the heavy rains coming in Thursday, we've pushed that back to Saturday, Sunday. So it's the original schedule that was Friday, Saturday is now pushed back one day. After the break, I'll be joined by the head coach of the men's basketball team, James Green, and we'll talk about the huge win over the East Mississippi Lions on Monday night. We'll take a short break as you're listening to A View from the Top, brought to you by the Rush Sports Medicine Team here on Super Talk Meridian 103.3 FM. Welcome back to A View from the Top, brought to you by the Rush Sports Medicine Team. I'm your host, Christopher Haralson, and today I'm joined by men's basketball coach James Green. Coach, thank you for joining us again on the show.
Thanks for having me.
I tell you what, in all my time at Meridian, going on 14 years now, I don't remember a bigger win than we had in the Graham Gymnasium Monday night when we defeated East Mississippi, 74-53. Talk to me a little bit about, the team and getting up, special for that win, and just how the team felt after that big win?
Well, obviously we felt great, and I thought we played great. We had gone up to Northwest, and it was a tough turnaround. You mentioned the Colin game. We shot the ball as well at Colin as we ever had, and went up to Northwest on a makeup game. It was a quick turnaround,
Sure.
tough travel. I guess that's the most distance we have
Yeah.
in the state to travel. Northeast may be about as far, be a lot tougher drive, but for our guys to get on the bus early that morning, 8 o'clock, to try to get up there, and I thought we gave some effort, but we just never really got in sync, and played for about 5 minutes in that uh, first half where we finished up really well,
Right.
and was up 6 at halftime, and came out and looked like somebody put a lid on the basket, and it affected us in every way. Had some crucial turnovers, could not make a shot. I think we scored 15 points in the
Right.
second half. That's kind of amazing. But I say all of that to build up to the East Mississippi game.
Right.
And some of those games at this time of the year can put you in a tailspin. So I kind of had my guards up. But I give our guys, Coach Broughton, a lot of credit for mentally regrouping and getting ready to play a really good East Mississippi team. And, we played them early up there, and they were physical. They played a really good game, and we didn't feel like we played as well. Excuse me. But, I thought it started on the defensive end.
Oh, absolutely.
As one of our better defensive efforts by everyone.
Right.
And I thought we played mostly man-to-man. We played a couple trips of zone, but our guys did a good job with scouting report. And, we tell our guys all the time, the harder we play on defense, get a few points off the defense, and we start to shoot the ball better.
Right.
So I thought we really had a lot of guys step up in that game, and we always saying, you want to play your best when your best is needed, and I thought we did that.
Absolutely. Mike Tyson is famous for the quote, everybody's got a game plan till you get hit in the mouth. And about, 6-8 minutes into that first half, there was a timeout on the floor. I think we were winning 11-1. And I looked at East Mississippi, and they looked like they had been hit in the mouth. I can't imagine they've seen that much defensive pressure to start a game that they saw. It was just an onslaught of defense, block shots and steals and turnovers. And I didn't think, to start the game, offensively, we played that great. To be playing as well as we were defensively and getting so many turnovers, like I said. And it took us a while to really get scoring. We had a good lead. We were up, 6-0 to start the game, and then 11-1. And so we had a good gap there, but I didn't think we shot the ball particularly well early on. But the defense, because they couldn't score, they couldn't get a basket to start the game. It helped us build that big lead that we just got bigger and bigger all night.
Well, we didn't really have a rhythm offensively,
Right.
but we tell guys all the time it doesn't matter on that end if you'll play defense. And I thought our guys did a really good job there. And then I think as the game went on, we felt more comfortable.
Sure.
We had a lot of guys making shots. Kobe Moore, who struggled some to shoot the ball, made some shots, and Akeem made some shots. Chris made some shots. He's played really, really well.
Right.
He wasn't great at Northwest. He was just okay. But all the other games, he's played really well. And he does a lot of things that, the normal fan may not notice out there. But our defense starts with him, and our offense starts with him.
Sure.
And Makeem Roberts, a lot of time, runs our team. I thought he did a good job with that and made some shots. Ellington is kind of getting back to a rhythm. He hadn't played up to his potential, we feel, in probably 7 or 8 ball games. So he's starting to get a stride. And all of our guys play really well. I think Jamal Anderson, his play in the last 7 or 8 ball games has made a difference in our team.
Right.
He's really shot the ball well. He's guarded well. Akeem, we've put him on the best opposing player, even if they're bigger.
Right.
And then when we sub him, Jamal has been able to do very similar at keeping guys
Right.
Away from the basket, away from good looks at the basket. And so we're really proud of the way that our guys have, whatever I can do
Right.
to help this team win, has made a huge difference in the mindset of us.
Well, you talk about Brandon Ellington, and his scoring, has gone down, like you mentioned, over the last 7 or 8 games. But what I've seen from him is he's not scoring as much as he was early in the season, but he's still blocking shots and getting rebounds and changing shots. I mean, he's still making it really difficult on opposing teams when they get in the paint. Last night, East Mississippi's got Ja'Cory Smith, who's a really good, offensive player. And when he got into that lane, Brandon was blocking him. Akeem was guarding him. I mean, his shots were tough. He wasn't getting easy looks. I think most of his points in the first half were free throws because he just couldn't get an easy look. And it goes back to what you're saying. Everybody's doing whatever it takes. If Brandon's not getting the ball on offense, he's still, a defensive, juggernaut there in the middle of the paint, on defense.
Well, and he's rebounded the ball well in
Right.
some very, very key situations. But we try to tell those guys, if you're working to catch the ball in the post, you're going to help someone else get
Right.
open. And I think we're starting to realize that as long as we're doing what we're supposed to do, we can have an impact on every single play. And I think because of Brandon, it has allowed some freedom for some other guys
Right.
because everybody's scouting him. They're always thinking about help defense, even before he catches the ball.
Right.
And when he catches the ball, they're coming to double a lot. He's not getting those free pass to the baskets that he was early in the year. So, and he's learning how to catch the ball, pass it back, repost. Those type things make you a really good inside-outside
Right.
team.
And when Brandon goes to the bench, foul trouble, taking a break, whatever it is, and Randarius Hughes comes in, it's like we don't miss a beat. I don't know if the other team thinks, he's out of the game, I can sit back a little bit, but Randarius gets the ball, he hits a baseline jumper, gets a good breakaway dunk. I mean, he plays as hard as anybody in the limited minutes he's getting, and I don't feel like we miss a beat, when he comes in.
We have not, and we started him for 4 or 5 games,
Right.
And he did really well. At one point when Brandon would get in foul trouble, we would be like, okay, we're going to have to play entirely different than
Right.
what we're playing, but he allows us to play the very same way. Does not block as many shots. We keep telling him, hey, you got to be more of a presence at protecting the rim.
Right.
And when he's doing that, he can score the ball around the
Sure.
basket. We talk to our guys about throwing him certain counter passes because sometimes his reaction time with his hands, he's getting better at that.
Right.
And they're learning more about how to give it to him in the spots that he needs it versus giving it to Ellington in the
Right.
spots that he needs it.
Well, I know Chris Terrell, he can get a pass off when nobody's expecting it, and you better be ready. It was several games ago. It may have been 8 or 10 games ago. We were playing at home, and he tried to make one of those passes to Randarius. It's funny you mentioned that, and it went through his hands. And I was on the baseline and reacted like, "Oh, come on, you got to catch that!"
Right.
And it was funny. We got back, we posted the highlights the next day, and Chris came out. He said, "I saw you reacting when he didn't catch that pass," and he does. He gets in that lane. We had a spot last night. Shot clock was running down. Of course, Chris got the ball in his hand like he always does. And he penetrates, and I'm thinking, God, you got to shoot. And he lets a pass go. I think it was to Jamal. I may be wrong. And Jamal gets it up and lays it in as the horn goes off. I mean, you couldn't have drawn it up any better to get the full 30 seconds out of the shot clock, and such a good pass from Chris to get the layup, going the other way. And but you're right. If your head's not on a swivel, the ball will hit you because he's going to get it to you.
We start telling him, make sure you throw it at his nose or something like that so he'll get his hands up, I was always taught as a player that if a guy's not catching the ball, you start throwing it at his head, he'll get his hands ready quicker and he'll catch more passes. And Sometimes Chris will make some of those passes, and after he's thrown it, he'll kind of like, whew, I'm glad he caught that pass because
Right.
coach going to get on me.
Yeah.
Because we tell him it does no good if it's in your mind a good pass, but the guy can't catch it.
That's right.
So
That's
you
right.
have to kind of learn how to play with each guy, and Chris has done an extremely good job at that. I think probably this year versus last year, he can find other people better as well as making plays for himself.
Right.
And I think it makes him so dangerous at the end of the clock. We put it in his hand. Sometimes he settles a little bit too much for the jump shot.
Right.
But he was 7 for 14 from the 3 versus Colin, so we have to give him a little
Sure.
bit of freedom to be able to pull up and shoot that ball, but he needs to have a good mix of
Right.
taking it to the basket, pitching it, dumping it off, or scoring the ball himself.
And we've been fortunate. Beginning of the year, I would have said to anybody that asked, Chris Terrell's our point guard, and everybody else just get out of the way, and he'll handle the ball. But we've been lucky that Chris has shot the ball well enough that you can flip it, and McKean can bring the ball up, or even Colby. We got a couple guys that can get the ball up the court and kind of, I guess, be in what you would consider a traditional point guard role, because our point guard, Chris Terrell, is shooting it so well. He
Right.
can almost, transition to the 2 spot and pick up the threes and knock them down as well as anybody. And so having that flexibility to run, 3 different guys at 3 different positions, it's got to make it tough on the defense to know, all right, who am I picking up? Who am I trying to defend, bringing the ball up, and who's going to be the threat to shoot the 3 when they are all an equal threat at all 3 spots.
Right. And I think our ball handling against the press, every time East Mississippi would try to get up and guard us a little bit tougher. For the first time, I think all year, we had more attack
Right.
against the press than what we've had, and I thought that helped us handle the basketball. Sure. And I think our guys did a good job when we were squeezed on the baseline. They used the timeouts. We were able to regroup, get the ball in bounds, a little bit more aggressive coming to catch. We have been on Chris and McKean about working harder to get the ball against press.
Right.
They do that, then it opens it up for other people.
Sure. I felt like several times when they tried to press Monday night, it backfired on them. It turned into a highlight reel for us because we got, a couple alley-oops, several dunks, even some big threes out of transition when they would try to press, and we would break it, on that first pass. And so, yeah, early on in the year, it may have been Northwest when we played them here, I felt like the press hurt us a little bit, and some teams got back into some games on us. But as the year's gone on, I can certainly see the progress we've made, at breaking that press and then turning it into a fast break opportunity, which you don't always get off a made basket.
Right.
Normally those fast breaks are coming off a missed basket and a rebound, but when you can turn a made basket into a transition opportunity, that's much easier for the offense to get an easy bucket than try to, work the clock and get a good shot.
Absolutely. And we've talked about composure, being able to attack, understand when to play fast, when to take some time off the clock. I think our guys are understanding what it takes to win in those situations.
Right.
And how to get a lead and maybe keep a lead.
Right.
Teams are going to make runs at you. There's a lot of good teams in the league this year. I think it's probably better since I've been here.
Sure.
Top to bottom. Some of the teams at the very bottom are struggling to get wins, but they're in a lot of games.
Right.
Very few games where the score ends up like it was against East.
Right.
And, that was one of those games where everything kind of was going well for us on both ends of the floor. It kind of stymied them. They were never able to get up, which is a credit to our guys. We didn't come out and play that way, go in at halftime, come out thinking that we're going to win the game.
Right.
We came out and played the same way in the second
Right.
half. And I was really proud of all of our guys. And obviously sophomore night, it's a good way to celebrate those guys, and their families were here, and so they got a chance to really see a good game. I thought, our other sports team coming in, giving us some enthusiasm, gave us great enthusiasm on the bench, and it was just a great day for us.
That's right. I agreed that I feel like this season throughout the conference has probably been the best group of teams we've had, and just the gauntlet of running through that state schedule. I mean, we've played as good as anybody in the state, and every time we go on the road, I have people, tell me, man, y'all look as good as anybody we've played, and it's such a grind that a makeup game at Northwest where, like you said, you got to get on the bus, you got to go up there. It's hard to keep that intensity up for so many games in a row, and then you start playing every other night in that situation. It's difficult, and so I think that it speaks a lot that we were able to rebound after that. It seems like a long break because we don't play till tomorrow night. We get 2 days off instead of just one, but it's good for the guys to be able to get their legs back under them and get ready, because after Thursday night, we turn around and Monday night we're in the state tournament.
Right.
And then we'll have to certainly play, win Monday, we'll get Tuesday off, but then Wednesday, Thursday will be another back-to-back. So.
Absolutely. And we tell our guys, in that situation where we had that quick turnaround, that's how it is in a tournament. So hopefully, even though we lost the game,
right,
that our guys have a feel for what that's like to have to get right back to playing. So hopefully we can be in a situation where we have to play back-to-back.
That's exactly right. Let's talk about that schedule just a little bit. So like I said, we finish up Thursday night, and then the men's number 1 seed will host the MAC conference tournament. We won't know until Thursday, till all the games are played, exactly who that's going to be. But so the men will play 4 games on Monday night, and then it'll be the top 8 seeds from the conference will play Monday night, and then on Tuesday the women will play the top 8 from the conference there, and that'll eliminate half the field on both sides. And then on Wednesday we'll play 2 men's games and 2 women's games, and then the championship on Thursday. So it is a quick turnaround there. If you get to play, Wednesday, Thursday, you want to be in the championship. So that's great for us if we get there, or whoever gets there. And then as soon as that's over on Thursday, we get a couple days off. The play-in round of the Region 23 tournament will start on Saturday, where some of the lowest seeds will play their way into the region tournament. And then we're right back at it, Monday through Saturday with the region tournament, where the lower seeds will travel to the higher seeds and another tournament. So we go from playing twice a week to playing 4 times a week really, really quick.
Right. And, I think the thing that helps us, one, I think our conditioning is pretty good.
Right.
You always wish it was better as a coach, because you want to play every play wide open. But
right.
I think we've played, in particular, guys like Chris Terrell, McKeem Rob, they're playing 35 minutes a game. We'll have to kind of figure that out in terms of being able to rest them a little bit more.
Sure.
But I think overall our conditioning is good. But I think the thing that helps us quite a bit is when we go down the bench and we're getting to 7, 8, 9, sometimes 10 players, there's not a whole lot of drop-off there. And I think sometimes we're better in those spots than some of the other teams.
Sure,
and we're able to wear some teams down over time. And we tell our guys, don't be frustrated when teams make run. We're talking about a 40-minute game. There's lots of plays. We want to be right there at the end of the game and make those plays a little bit difficult for those guys on the other team that's been out there for 35 minutes.
That's right. Well, Coach Green, I want to thank you. Congratulations on the huge win Monday night, and good luck tomorrow night as we wrap up the regular season in Goodman at Holmes. Hopefully we'll be back here in just a couple of weeks, and we'll talk about winning the state championship or winning the region championship. And I'd love to have you back on to talk about that.
Well, I hope so. Got a tough game against Holmes. They're one of the scrappiest teams.
That's right.
In the league, and they've played well of late, so we'll have to get ready to play.
That's right. Thank you. We'll take a quick break. You're listening to A View from the Top, brought to you by the Rush Sports Medicine Team.
Meridian Community College. For more than 75 years, we've helped students soar. Establishing the first tuition guarantee program in Mississippi, we put our students first, while creating pathways into the workforce and offering a seamless transition to a 4-year degree. Now is the time to find your purpose and register today, because those who move forward never get left behind. MCC, find your wings.
Welcome back to View from the Top, brought to you by the Rush Sports Medicine Team. I'm your host, Christopher Haralson, and I want to thank Coach Green for joining us today and talking about the basketball season and the huge win Monday night. Don't forget, tomorrow night, the Lady Eagles will host Holmes in the Graham Gymnasium for sophomore night. Saturday at 1 o'clock, your number 8 ranked MCC baseball team will host Hines Community College at Skaggs Field. Saturday and Sunday, the softball team will host the Rush Invitational Softball Tournament, where they'll have games both days, all day long. To keep up with all things MCC Athletics, like us on Facebook at MCC Eagles Athletics, follow us on Twitter at MCC Eagles Sports, and for every episode of A View from the Top, Eagle highlights, and much more, subscribe to us on YouTube. Just search Meridian Community College. I want to thank you for listening to this week's episode of A View from the Top, brought to you by the Rush Sports Medicine Team. Join me every Wednesday morning at 9 a.m. here on Super Talk Meridian 103.3 FM.